Where's YouTube gone? Okay, here we go. Heidi ho, everyone, and welcome aboard. It is the Tuesday edition of, well, I think it's the Tuesday edition. It should have been last night's edition, but that didn't happen. So we're one down, for which we do apologize, those of you who are subscribed to the US session. But unfortunately, Zoom had a heart attack or something, not quite terminal, but it was very sick last night, and we just couldn't get in. So unfortunately, that had to be the case, and beyond our control, as you can readily tell. All right, today we've got the Big O, as you can hear, with us. G'day, mate.
Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you, mate?
Yeah, look, fitting well. Everything's going to plan so far today. Zoom hasn't crashed. I don't know that. I don't know that I feel safe anymore with Zoom. It used to be pretty reliable.
Yeah, it was.
Seems a little weird. I'm having a few issues with it, but never mind. I'm sure it'll come good. And so far, so good today. I'll come to you very, very shortly and ask you what you're into.
Yeah, go ahead.
But in the meantime, we shall set our pound breakout trade, which has been not going too well of late. Let's see if we can fix that up today. Actually, I'll trade it on this account, not that account. What account? Where is it? There it is. Fusion, not IFS. What's going on? Okay, it's on this screen, that's why. All right, we can fix that. I will share that screen rather than screen number one. Okay, so you have pound US dollar on your chart, 1 hour on your screen, 1 hour chart. Let's put my little EA on here and we'll get the levels for you. We'll get rid of blue violet because that doesn't do jack. We'll get rid of red because that's a bit hard to read at times as well. We'll make that white. There we go. So at the moment, the level will be that level there for the sell at the moment, and that won't change. So we can put the buy into the market. We will buy at 131.15. Stop loss will be the low of that bar. Is it going to tell me that? Yeah, it is. 131.03 will be the stop loss. That's for the buy. And we can put that in. Now the sell at the moment will be 130.76. We'll put that in, but we won't actually activate it. Oh, they do it every day. You've got to be kidding me. I hope I'm still connected, guys.
Hey, mate, I have a question. Are you putting the orders on the Fusion MT4?
Yep. Oh, I was supposed to be. I'm not. No, I'm putting them on IFS, aren't I? That's all right. Doesn't matter. I'll change.
Yeah, cool, mate. Just a heads up, right?
A blank screen, right? And you're seeing euro US dollar, am I right?
Yes, I am seeing euro US dollar.
Okay. Let's fix that.
All right, so there we go.
Thanks for that. I'll change these to suit, right? Label properties. Entry for the long is 131.15, as I said. Just not too far away from where we were. 131.15, and the stop loss is 131.03. So that bit's good. And the sell will be at 130.76. With a stop loss at, High of that bar, 131.06. Okay, with what, 4 seconds to go? I think we're pretty safe in placing those. Okay, so there is the OCO for the pound breakout trade today. As I say, it could do with a bit of help. It hasn't been very good. We got tipped in yesterday on this bar, I think, and then whoosh, Zorro. We don't like Zorro. He's a prick, Zorro, and he whipsawed us out. Okay, so there we have the pound breakout trade for today. Now, if I was trading the pound today, what would I be thinking? I would be thinking it's a bloody big mess. That's what I'd be thinking. But I can see, and I've said this about the pound crosses as of Sunday when I did my analysis, this bar here, not so much on pound US dollar, but pretty close. On pound CAD, on pound yen, and I think a couple of other pound pairs. That bar on Friday, actually, yeah, Friday, engulfed 8 previous bars. So it kind of meant something. I don't think it means as much on pound US dollar. But I can definitely see the potential for this to go short. It's definitely there, having rejected the weekly pivot already, which was, of course, is 1 day old at this point in time. But I think that would be my bias if I was looking to trade pound US dollar, and I'm not, I've got to say. It's just the breakout trade that we're trading. So there we go with pound US dollar. Just a quick update. For those of you who are following my current trades, where we are, well, I'll start from the top, I suppose. Pound Kiwi. Pound Kiwi is fighting back. I didn't really want it to. I want it to come back to here so I can scale into it. But it is doing exactly that. We are currently where we've been pretty much for the past week and a bit, plus 740, nearly 50 pips on that one at the moment. And I'm still very keen on that. I think it's got a long way to go, but I would like to scale into it now. So I need a decent pullback, and it just won't come. Maybe when we see the monthly pivot move next week, we'll have something to bounce off. But at this point, it looks as though it may well keep going. Pound Aussie is another that we're in. If I can find it. Pound Aussie. It's disappeared. La, 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 la. Anyway, there's nothing to do, but it's going okay as well. Euro Pound's the only one that we're at a very small risk on at present. We've taken TP1 on Euro Pound, but we haven't got anything else to show for it at this point. And when I last looked, it was, where is the bloody thing? They've all disappeared. Euro Pound, come here. Nah. There it is. Okay, so Euro Pound, where we entered just here, which is underneath that bar there is where we entered. And we've been two fro. We took our TPs down here, but at this very point in time, it's in no man's land in between the monthly and weekly pivots. Nothing to do here, just hang on. If we get our stops hit, then so be it. But we're still underneath the monthly pivot. We've got a bit of a rejection bar of that yesterday. So I see no reason to do anything here at this point in time. CAD Swiss, we're in CAD Swiss still, and it's trying its little bum out to get above this this level that is 69 or 0.69. We've taken TPs 1 and 2 on CAD Swissy, I think, from now, maybe only TP1. Oh no, both TP1 and 2, so no drama. But we would like it to shoot through these highs that have created in the last week. Looking like it doesn't want to do anything at the moment. It's just caressing the weekly pivot, but we are still in profit on that as well. Aussie dollar we got into late last week, and that's looking okay as well as we bounced off the weekly pivot. Got to get it underneath the daily pivot and this trend or trade line here today. Pretty keen on that. If I wasn't in this already, I would be looking to trade this short. Take your pick. It's getting lots of shots over the bow here as it approaches, pulls back, approaches, pulls back, approaches, pulls back. That little pullback is getting less and less, and this may well be the time that it shoots through that trade line, takes us to the monthly pivot, of course, which is where we want to be. Is that it?
Yeah, mate.
I think I'm at EuroCAD. Sorry, mate. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I just realized that we are still on the GBP USD chart.
Oh my God, because I can't see the chat. That's why. Sorry, guys. Oh my God. Okay. It's the trouble with Zoom.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, right?
Well, you've got to select a different screen to show, rather than drag that screen onto your main screen, which is just a pain in the backside. Anyway,
there you go.
Right. So very, very briefly.
I'll keep an eye on the chat, mate. I'll keep an eye on the chat.
Awesome. So going back to the head, pound Kiwi, we got in down here. I've still got my stops at entry, waiting for a big pullback. And I wanted to scale into this at some stage, but it hasn't come. Pound Aussie, I couldn't find on my chart. Euro pound, as I said, we are still in, but it's the only one risk at the moment, only very small risk, but it is at risk. And Euro CAD, we've taken TP1 and 2 on this as well. TP2 was down here, as you'll recall. It looks as though it wants to come back and go through entry and attack the monthly pivot again. That wouldn't surprise me. This is exactly what happened to us last time. We took TPs 1 and 2 on EuroCAD, came back and took out our trailing stop there with that bar. And this looks like it's going to do exactly the same thing. Ned's never to despair. We will just keep going and we'll keep entering every time it gives us an opportunity. There's that Euro pound. There's entry level right there. We've taken our profit down here, but we are still at tiny risk on this one. If it does come back and hit our stop loss, so be it. Aussie US dollar, as I was saying when I was talking on the pound chart, I'd be ready to get into this short if I wasn't in it already. That doesn't mean I'm going to scale into it. We've only taken first profit on this one, but I would like to see us get through the monthly pivot before I scaled into it. So I want to have just about everything in the bank before I do that, because it is in a range after all. And can I trust the US dollar yet? Answer no. But that said, let's take a quick look at the dollar index. And I wanted to show you guys, I'm guessing you can't see the dollar index either. So let me go there. Dollar index. Can you see the dollar index?
No, mate. We are again on the pound USD. No, hold on. I'm sorry. This is on a. Hold on. Give me just a second, just to make sure that we are on that. Yes, I can see it. I can see it, mate.
Okay, perfect. All right. So here's the thing with the dollar index. We have got a little trend line. Well, it's not a little trend line. It's the one that I've been trying to come back and retest for the longest time. And it just won't do it. Price hasn't come back to it, and it won't. It's not a very good depiction on a monthly chart, but it's down there and price just won't come back to it, which is a pain. But now I feel there is the opportunity for that to occur, because we do have, once again, a beautiful confluence in this area. You see where price is, bang on this level right now. Maybe it's a little bit of a cloud of a price, but it's there. There's also another level. This is the monthly chart that I'm looking at, that goes through around about there somewhere. And if you look through, if you look back to here, that level has also got a little bit of form through here, a little bit of form through here, and support through here. So I like the level. Not only that, we also have another trend line coming up through here. It's kind of there somewhere. Oh, you sod. So to me, there's a big confluence going on here. Yeah, probably there. And it is around about this 95 mark. So that's what I see very, very clearly. And I see that we've got every reason to think this can bounce to that level because we are at such a strong horizontal level. And it is oversold. Now, why would it do that from a fundamental point of view? I've got absolutely no idea. But maybe you can have a little bit of a chat on that, Orlando, as we launch into what you're looking at. But that's what I'm looking at.
Mate. I'll just share my charts and we'll be ready to roll.
Can you do that, or do you need some power?
No. Let me see if I can do that. Yep, I need powers.
Okay. Let me give you some powers then.
Cool.
Let me get rid of this and go to here and go to here, there, and there. Now you should be good, mate.
All right. Let's see. Okay, I'm not. Can everybody see my screen? First of all, let's see over here. I think everybody can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. So a couple of things that I'm looking at. This is equities, and I'm not going to talk about that. But the dollar index. Let's start with the dollar index because you left us with the dollar index. So that will be a good segue, right?
Cool. Absolutely.
Yeah. So the USD, the DXY, right, bounced from these lows. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. This was during that Friday that we had the Fed minutes, right here. The main reason that we had that move to the upside is because the Fed said that the probability of the U.S. economy going to deflation was back to 0%. But they also said that we needed that the U.S. economy needed a lot of stimulus and that to continue its recovery, and that they were going to start buying corporate bonds to support the market liquidity, right? That's super bearish. So creating more money, and that would be super bearish for the US dollar. But of course, that saying that the US economy's probability to go into deflation was back to 0% had a higher impact right in the market. As you can see, we are still going up, but again, we are still below that 94 level. This is the big level for me. That 94 level is the big level for me, and as long as we're below that level, I am super bearish the US dollar. And right now,
so we're going to put on our boxing gloves, mate. You and me.
Exactly. We have to. We have to.
That's okay. There's plenty of room for both of us.
Yeah, of course, there's plenty room for both of us, and that's completely fine. But as you can see, technically speaking, we are in a short-term bullish structure, right? And we have broken with that long-term trend line and have retested it again. So the technicals are saying right here, be careful because we might go higher, right? The fundamentals keep pushing the US dollar down. So I mean, this is just a waiting game for me. Like I've been saying on my show, I am not keen of taking a US dollar position at these lows. Why? Because I swing trade, basically, mostly, I'm sorry. So if I were to take a trade right here, for the time being, this is no man's land for me. But if I were to take a short trade on the US dollar whilst the DXY is at these levels, that would be like a day trade to me. And I'm not too keen of taking short-term positions. So what I'm waiting for is either we break to the upside, retest that 94 level, right? And we have a good push on the US dollars towards that 95.80 level, or we see this as a bear flag and we break with it to continue even lower. Now that would have some good directionality on the US dollar, and I should be able to monetize on that by taking a US dollar either long trade or short trade. So that's what I'm waiting for on the DXY. For the time being, really not a lot of good good price action, right? Let's have a look at the daily opens, because I've been looking at the daily opens for a while now, and as you can see, it's pretty clear that we are in a in an uptrend, right? When this line is green, means that the price closed above the daily open. When the line is red, it means that it closed below the daily open. So as you can see here, if you have red, this is pretty much a slam dunk move to the downside. But here we have green, red, green. So it is respecting that pullback impulse move. But this new low on the DXY, it's what's concerning to me, in the sense that if we break with this low, or if we move close to this low, this new high would be active, and the immediate bullish structure would be no longer valid. So that's what I'm waiting for. Or either we push to the upside to get some bullish directionality, or to the downside and we break that flag to see more downside on the US dollar, right? What else? Yes, we are going to see something else right now. Equity is pushing super higher, right? The German DAX broke with that continuation pattern yesterday. Pretty neat, actually. Let me just get rid of that. Hitting targets number one, and yeah, continuing to I think all-time highs. No, not all-time highs. I'm sorry. We are we are still ways to be at all-time highs. But if you look at this, I mean, this looks pretty bullish on the German DAX. And if you were like me, waiting for that breakout of that that pattern, continuation pattern, well, kudos if you caught it. I didn't, because I was not in front of my chart, but that's fine. But I'm gonna talk about the markets that I'm currently in. Yeah, that I'm watching, right? Let's start with the pound yen. The pound yen, I'm actually long on the pound yen. This is a short-term chart on the pound yen. I'm going to start with this because I want to show you where I'm looking at some targets to the upside on the pound yen. I got that. I got a long at the break of this high yesterday with my stops all the way below these lows. So I'm currently holding that long. The reason that my stops are all the way below these lows is because if we break with these lows and these lows and this bullish structure and that range, of course that my trade idea is no longer valid, right? But the pound yen is holding that, and currently on its way to TP1, which should be the 139.90 or these highs right here. But that's only TP1, right? The reason that I was looking, and I've been looking to get long this pound yen for a while now, because I closed all my pound yen longs that I had. I don't know if you remember from these lows from the 134, I had some pound yen longs. But if you look closely, this is the 4-hour chart. Let's go to the 8-hour chart to see this more clear. This is still respecting that bullish structure perfectly, right? This bullish structure is still intact, and and we are, well, this is the level that really concerns me, but we already broke with it. But I'm still going to put on a ray here. This is the middle of the range, which is also hold on, which is also this previous highs. I mean, you can see the big rejection on that level. So what I'm looking for is, of course, a break, a retest for a continuation, or at least a retest of these highs, right? But on the longer term, let's go to the 2-day chart. That will be fine. On the longer term, since we are, since we are above those, hold on, it should be here. Since we are above those previous highs, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Even though that this is not a valid Elliott wave sequence, if you guys follow that, I don't. I'm not an expert, but it really helps when it comes to, to finding impulses in the move in the market. But what I'm looking at for is at least a retest of these lows at around the 141, 141.20 level. So that would give me a nice 200 pip move to the upside, at least if we don't break with the previously stated levels and this bullish structure, right? So that's the pound yen, and of course that well, if you're looking to the if we are looking on the longer term, we should be looking at this too, this trend line right here, which is a long-term market structure. Well, from January 2018, yeah, that's a long-term market structure. And if we clone it, let's see if it structurally holds to the downside. Well, it should be right here. So yeah, this is a long-term market structure. This is where we bounce off of the lows at around the 124. So if we think that this is a structured market that is going to be retesting these highs, we could see the pound yen going to the 143 level. I am not someone that trades trend lines. You know, I use them for just to visually understand when a structure has been broken. I don't get my entries from them unless I have a key level that confluences with the retest of said structure, right? But this is going to be a hard level to break through on the pound versus the yen. But this is what I'm looking at. So I'm long right now with a good risk to reward ratio to TP1 and TP2. That should be, TP1 should be 139.90. TP2 should be the 141.10-ish or something, right? So that's that. Let's go back to the hourly because we are still on a short-term trade there. And now let's have a look at silver. All right, where is silver? I don't know. All right, silver, hold on. I think I need to load the commodities chart.
As bad as me, you can't find the bloody thing.
That's right. So silver, pretty fun trading silver. So let me actually I'm going to delete this this one, and that's fine because I want to show you what's going on here. So like I said before, I got into this one. I don't remember where. 124 should be, yes. So I have a couple of silver trades going on, right? If you remember, I wanted to get into this silver up move for a while now, and I got in right here. Yeah, I don't trade retest of the structures, but this was as and also a retest of this key level and the 160 and the 61.8 move, retracement of the entire move to the upside. So I got in here.
Mate, just briefly, why don't you trade when you say you don't trade the bounce off the structure? Why is that?
Because to me, it needs to be, just trading the bounce of a structure by itself, to me, it feels a little thin, right? A little thin of an entry. You want the C word,
right? Same as
yes,
same.
Exactly. I need the justification that this is in fact a level by a Fibonacci, by a key Fibonacci, or a key support or resistance historic level. When I get that, just like here, to me, that is a slam dunk entry. But if I were just to trade, for example, this retest at the highs, that makes no sense to me because there's nothing else there. And like I said, it's I feel I mean I just feel it's too thin of an entry. Yeah, that is the main reason, mate.
Yeah, no, perfect.
All right,
I'm
so
on board.
yeah, awesome. So let's continue with this magical journey into silver. All right. Hold on. Just making sure I have my stops ready on the US dollar, Japanese yen. That I'll show you before we go any further. So I was holding this US dollar, Japanese yen short from a couple of weeks ago. Took profits here, and then I'm about to be taken out on a profit if we break with this high, which is absolutely fine, right? I'm thinking that this might be a little bit too close to that high, so I will move this 5 pips above just to make sure that I don't get ticked out right on a retest. So that's what I wanted to do. But I'm fine if I get stopped out on that trade, on that short trade, because I've already taken profit on it. So this is the US dollar. No, this is what? Silver. This is silver. Okay, so I got in here, right? And I have another one. Well, I got in here and I took profits, half of my position here. That's logical, right? This is the next key level. And right now, I have added to that long at the retest of this low last week right here. When we got this candle here, I put on a limit order with a stops below this low, and I got filled, and I'm still holding that, right? I'm still holding that trade. Why? Because we are still above that 126.50 to 126.30 level. Now, if we break with these lows, I will sadly be taken out of all of my trades at a profit, but I will be taken out, and that which will be fine, but I will still be looking for longs in silver, right? Now, the reason that this is a massive key level to me, the 126.20 to 126.30 level, is because of this. And I'll show you just in just a minute, mates. We have to go to the monthly chart for that. And there you go. All right, we have to go to the monthly chart for that. And if you look at the monthly chart, this is a massive, 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 massive level of support on the monthly that started on December 2010 and was finally broken on April 2013. So 3 years, right, worth of support at this level. So this is a super massive level on what? On silver, right here. So if we go back, this is the monthly chart, and I'm going to color it a different color so we don't mistake. Actually, I would like a pink. No, that's a yellow. That's better. I said orange. So we don't confuse it with the short-term level that we drew on the 3-hour chart that we were at. And if you look at this is where that massive, massive level in silver is placed. Right here, we got that rejection, and then massive support. And this is where buyers are loading up, I'm sorry, on that silver right here. And now we are just chopping between that trend line and that level. Now, if we break to the downside, which can happen, we don't know the real market auction because we don't have the time on sales.
I'm just going to pause you there. We've got a potential trade. I just want to go to it.
Yeah, go ahead, mate. Go ahead. We can come back.
Yep, I'll come straight back to you. It'll be Euro CAD, guys, M30 short. But I need to see this candle close. And I want it to close, yeah, where it is, it'll be just fine.
So that's a
Anywhere
buy?
there. It'll be sell.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and there is the order. If I can move the bloody thing. There we go. So we're selling at 155.95. And I'll show you where TP1 is going to be and what I'm going to do. $155.95 is what we want. And the stop loss is 1.5615. Oh my God, too slow. Okay, now I'll tell you what I'm going to do if we get taken in here. If this goes and closes above DR1, we'll cancel the order. But what I'm going to do is take profits. I think it was 8 pips from memory. Right there. Might not be 8 pips. Should be. 155.94. That's 1 pip. Okay, that's not the level I was looking at, obviously. Let me try that again. Take 2. That was the level. Okay, now it makes sense. 155.87, which is indeed 8 pips. So I won't do anything there except move my stops to entry. So I won't take anything off the table. And as soon as we hit the daily pivot, I'll take everything. I'll just close the order, right? So your TP1 level is stops to entry levels 1.5587. And your take all is at, where's the daily pivot? 1.5574. Okay. So there we have it. That's Euro CAD short. And as I said, if we get a close above DR1, then cancel the order. Right, mate. Sorry about that.
No worries, mate. No worries, mate. I mean, if we have a live trade, we should be doing it no matter what, because I can always come back to analysis, right?
Them's the rules, buddy.
All right, let's go back to that silver. So we were talking about that pretty interesting level, right, on the monthly. And well, if you notice, this is hold on, let me just get rid of that point because I have some OCD with choppy, with I don't know, not very disciplined charts. So we have that. I mean, that level here, big rejection. But finally, we broke to the upside, and we were saying that this is where buyers are loading profit, but I will be taking out and still be looking to go long silver, right? Because I mean, we don't know what's going on, what is going to happen, because we don't know actual and future auction in the market, and sellers might just break or swipe all those buy orders that are placed here and just boom, take price down, and then we could be looking to add here, or to go long again and here, which is fine. But also sellers might just get exhausted of trying to swipe all those buy orders that are placed at these levels and just give up, and buyers swiping all the sell orders at these levels right here. So we don't know what's going to happen. But if you look, I mean, just looking at technicals, let's go to the 1 hour chart. This looks very flaggy to me. All right, this looks extremely, I'm sorry, man, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, allergies acting up.
Was that a sneeze or a cough?
Both. Yeah, that's
Happy
a
days. It was a snuff.
A snuff, exactly. That was a snuff, mate. All right. So if you ask me, this looks very flaggy, right? I mean, we have the impulse waves or the impulse moves pretty defined here, and this looks very pullbacky, right? Very flaggy, very up. I mean, this has no strength. This move has no strength at all, and it's visually it looks like a pullback. I mean, if it looks like a pullback and smells like a pullback, should be a pullback, right? And not only that, but if we go higher, um, this entire white structure looks also like a big flag, right? Like a big bullish flag. Again, I'm not very keen of that set structure, but I do have it on my charts. Now, if we break to the upside, and if we break with this red flag right here, we hold on. If we break with this red flag right here, but we reject that white structure or that white trend line, I'm going to start to get concerned on the upside, on the short-term upside of silver, right? But since I am looking to hold this trade for a while, that shouldn't be a problem for me. The real problem are these lows and this level right here, like I said before. But that level being so strong on the monthly gives support to my idea of a long term. I'm sorry, of a long on silver. Now, if we let's talk targets, right? So short-term targets should be at these levels, okay, at these highs, and I am going to paint that green. Short-term green are my short-term levels. Orange or yellow are my long-term levels. So yeah, the first target should be around the 29 level. That should give us a nice what if you enter at the break, let's say at the break of this high, which I'm not saying you should. This is just to this is a 1,000 and 1,100 pip stop. Let's say 1,000 pip stop loss for a 2020 pip 2200 pip target on TP1. So that will be a 1 to 2 risk to reward scenario to TP1. Now, long term, I am looking at this level, right? Again to the monthly, and we should be looking at a monthly color on that trend line. And apparently we do have two trend lines here. Two horizontal lines. So this is the next level that I'm looking at on the monthly. As you can see, silver traded inside of this this range that we are looking at right here. This range for since it started to trade. Well, the bottom of that range was on what? That's September 2011, and we broke with that range on April 2013. So again, 3 years worth of range trading here in silver. So again, massive level. And if you look at this, so let me just thicken this candles. If you look at this here,
man, a bloke could get rich trading in there. 3 years of range, yum. Yeah, that's like Nirvana, man.
Yeah, that's right. Three years of range.
Wow.
Exactly. So that's why I believe that if we break with everything that we've talked about, we should be good to at least retest that 34 level, which was also a massive level of support between May 2011 and July 2011. So that's a 3-month support. But that's fine. So what I'm looking at is to trade the top of that range. So if we go back to the 4-hour chart, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. And yep, let's.
A few questions for you in the box when you're done too, man.
Okay, cool. Let me see.
Not relating to this chart.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'll finish up this chart quickly. Yeah, I'll go to the questions. So let's have a look and let's see where those big targets to the upside are on. And actually, this is going to answer one of the questions. I reckon 361 over there. All right. So the extended 200 targets are right at the 34 level on that flag, right? But I'm not going to be looking at to exit at the extended targets on the flag. So what I'm going to be doing is just look at um, uh, the retracement, I'm sorry, on the last move. And if you notice, the 161 retracement of this move is right at the 160 at the 34 level. So yeah, this is a Fibo cluster right here at that key level that we should be getting into, or we should be retesting in the midterm. So that's my silver chart, guys. I hope that you find that actionable. And yeah, let me go to answer that question on the chat box. I only have the YouTube questions here, mate. So
Yep, that's all. That's the only ones we need. I think.
okay, cool. So
I'll check Facebook.
all right, how do I exit using fibs? All right, that is a great question, and I'll answer that with what chart? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see, guys. Hold on. With fibs. All right, I'm going to be using that that trade on the pound yen. And how do I exit using fibs? Well, the way that I exit using fibs, it's using Fibonacci retracement level, but using the 161.8 Fibonacci retracement level, right? Why? Because normally what price action does is that it creates a mini, for example, in this entry, right? We have a massive move to the downside to a area of support, and then we have an impulse to the upside. So that creates a new high, but we need a new low before continuing higher. So what I do here is I look at the last if I am looking at if I am looking at a long position, I look at the last impulse down, or actually, you know what? This is a good example, but it's not the actual way that I use it. So let me just take a look at. Well, let's grab silver again, because what I do, mate, is that, for example, if I'm trading the breakout of this flag, right? What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to to ultimate targets. Of course, that this is silver, and we just talked about that 34 level, so don't mind that. Just imagine that this is another chart, because what I will be looking at is at grabbing a Fibonacci retracement level from the high of the pattern to the low of the pattern, and I would be exiting at the 161.8 in confluence with a key level. And right here we have a confluence with that that previous high and the 161.8. So I would be trading that. If I would be trading the breakout of this flag, right, this is the level that I would be exiting. I always look at the 161.8 in confluence with a previous high or a previous low. So that's the way that I exit my trades using Fibonacci retracement levels, right? And let's have a look at something else, right? That I am, and if that didn't answer the question, just type it on the chat, and I'm more than happy to just go back to explaining that. Something else that I'm looking at, okay, this is a nice one that I just took today. It looks pretty simple, right? Just a retest of the highs in a range, breakout of this reversal pattern. Where is my brush? Here's my brush. So I took a trade at the break of this low, still currently with full risk on it. But the interesting thing about the US dollar, Canadian dollar, is the the long-term chart, right? Let's go to the 4-hour chart, and this is it. All right. This is what's interesting. Of course, that we are when what could be the bottom of a big move to the downside. So yeah, I mean, you might think to yourself, dude, I mean, you are selling the bottom of a move, and my answer is that a market is never too sold off to sell into, or has rallied enough to not buy into. You don't know what's going to happen, and but again, this is a trade based on Canadian dollar strength and a US dollar weakness. So that's a double bearish whammy here for this market. And if we go even higher on time frames on the weekly, you can see that the potential to the downside, if we manage to break with this level right here, is massive. So I'm getting into that short-term trade, of course, taking half of it at the bottom of that range on the 50-minute chart, but holding on to that for a possible continuation uh, to test these levels, right? And apparently I have an alert here that says big buys, which conflicts with what I'm saying, so I'm going to delete that one.
Yeah, you don't agree with yourself. So,
That's an old one, so don't worry about it.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, this is what I'm seeing, right? I mean, if we only look at the hourly, we're just looking at this, or the 4-hour chart, we're just looking at this move right here. Um, and we are looking at immediate levels. But if we look at the longer time frames, yes, there's still potential to the downside on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. So if we go back to the 2-hour chart, that's my trade idea. Of course, that I'm going to be taking off some of it right here and moving my stops to break even. Why? Because I don't know if we're going to bounce off this level again, or hell, even bounce with it and break and just move higher. If the dollar starts to rally, for example, that's exactly what's going to happen. But for the time being, I saw a great risk to reward. That's almost a 1-to-4 risk to reward scenario to first target. So that's another trade that I'm in at the moment, looking at a possible swing if we break with these lows, mate. And that's about it on my side.
All right, mate. Happy days. Thank you for that. Question from Shukri. Can you come in at some stage to the US show on a Tuesday when Shukri's in to give us some key levels? Or you don't have to. You can just tell me what levels are at some stage if you like.
Sure.
On Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Neo, EOS, and DOT.
Well, that's a
So
question
if
for
you-
me because I don't trade. I don't trade. Actually, that's a lie. And I'm starting to dabble into cryptocurrencies, but I'm new
Okay,
to
well
this.
then you should be in. You should come into Tuesday's show at some stage.
All
So
right.
and then you can compare notes. And what Shukri wants to know is the key levels, right?
Okay.
So
Cool.
the chart's a chart. Doesn't matter.
A chart. Exactly. A chart. Yeah. Sure. I can do that. No worries.
All right. Well, I'll line that up with you in conjunction with Shukri at some stage. Shukri, have you got a week in mind? Which day? Which week? Sorry.
Hey, Sugar, and you know, that was really interesting Bitcoin talk this past Sunday.
No, so I know the US show is a subscription show. You have to subscribe into that one. And look, it's a minimal charge. It's $34.50 a month, mate, I think, from memory. And that's done by James at actionstowealth.com. Okay, so you're done next Tuesday. How's that work for you?
Yeah, that works perfectly, mate.
All right, mate. Well, then you'll be
More
busy
happy
boy.
to do so.
You'll be in this show, your show, our show,
And your
Shit
show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
that's right.
Okay, mate. I will take over and see what we've got coming up towards the top of the hour.
mate.
Thanks for that, buddy.
All right.
Righto, we've got a change of screen here. Would be good. And what am I going to look at? I'm going to look at, I'll give you a little explanation of the trade that we just took, or the order that we just placed, rather. And really what we're looking at here is very, very similar to really what you've just described, Orlando. And it's really trading the false break of a little, I'll call it a key level if you like. Why not? Let's call it a key level. This to me is a key level on this chart anyway, on the 30-minute chart. So we've come broken above it, we've come back below it, and we've retested it. And call it the weekly pivot if you want. I'll call it the weekly pivot. And for that reason, I feel if the bulls cannot take out this high, then they're going to come back this way and they're going to test the daily pivot. And that's exactly the trade. The trade is a false break of not only the trade line that I've got here, but of the weekly pivots and the top of this little range, if you like, that's forming. And it will form a whole lot better if price gets down to here. So that's the trade on EuroCAD. Now, I've had a few questions on the pound pairs 4-hour charts, which is really very interesting. Pound Aussie, pound CAD, and pound Kiwi from memory. Let's take a look at them and what we were looking for. I can't remember who it was now. Maybe Crystal? Was Crystal in the room? No, it wouldn't have been Crystal. Who said this? Sino. Okay, Sino. So you're looking at double crosses, right? Now, those of you who don't know my double crosses, or what I call a double cross, it is a break, a clean break with a decisive bar of a pivot, as we see here. This is not really what the doctor ordered. You'd like to see half the bar one side and half the bar the other, ideally, but this will do. And it's also the same on the daily pivot. So this is ideal on the daily pivot, exactly what we're looking for. But the very next bar has to be one that almost engulfs that bar. It looks like you guys call them train track reversals, I think. So something, I can't even see one off the top of off this chart anyway, but I'll show you one if I find one. And what we're looking for is equal candles really at the end of the day, one up, one down across the pivots. And that to me is a double cross. Now on pound Aussie, and it was the 4-hour charts, yes. I don't see that right now, but of course it's got an hour to go with this candle. And if it were to come back here and maybe close below the daily pivot or below its low, then yeah, I think you've got a perfectly valid scenario there. The one thing that I wouldn't like, or probably two things that I wouldn't like, is that we've come back inside this range. And as you know, as a range trader, I'll be looking for a lower high to trade this short, not to trade this long. So my bias is short, not long. That doesn't mean, of course, that it can't put in that higher low up here. Sorry, lower high up here. So, you know, the trade may still be there and we can still be right going in the opposite direction. So it's in the place I call no man's land, where it could go either way and wouldn't surprise me either way. But the candle's not there right now to trade a double cross anyway, but it could be later. That's pound Aussie. Pound CAD was another. And same here. Now, I'll point out something to you. I would be willing to trade this, absolutely willing to trade this. If you consider what we've just placed an order on EuroCAD short, flip that on its head, and you've got exactly the same scenario here going in the opposite direction. You've got a trade line. In this instance, support trade line. It's broken below it. It's come back above it, and it's now retesting it. It's not only doing that to the trade line, it's doing that to the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot. And on both of those pivots, if this were to close on or around the trade line or on or around its low, then you've got a genuine double cross there. The problem with it is we have had a previous double cross. So that one there, both decisive bars. Again, not ideal because you want it to get deeper into this one, but it's perfectly okay. And you can see what happened. You would have got a little bit of money out of that one. But what I really like is when it's the first double cross. And the reason I say that, like there's one there, right? Again, get a little bit of money out of it. They're all over the place. But I recommend that you only trade the first of them, because what happens is once, and you can see how much this pivot's just been really the flavor of the month, so to speak, because price just can't get away from it. Gets above it, goes below it, above it, below it, blah, 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 blah. So it really isn't finding direction or finding a support or real resistance off that monthly pivot. So when it's the first one, you can see you get a little bit of a move anyway, but when you're getting second, third times, I just don't rely on. Well, I don't think it's just trustworthy as it was previously. That said, the false break here would absolutely get me interested in trading pound CAD long, and that's completely against my bias of the week because I'm looking to trade it short. Ha ha ha! But again, if we get up to here and I've taken profit, there's nothing to stop me trading short later in the week. My bias is on a weekly basis, not on a daily basis right now. So that's what I'm looking for. And the other one was pound Kiwi. And pound Kiwi has flown the coop pretty much at the moment, similar to what we had to look at on, was it pound Aussie, I think, because we've now got, a low test bar at the end of the day, break, retest of the weekly pivot. Quite like this because I'm in long, of course, but anything can happen in the next hour or so. This could come back below both pivots, in which case it would again be a genuine double cross. But if you look at here, we've already had the double cross on the weekly pivot. And at this point in time, that would be in profit had you traded that yesterday. But it isn't valid today, in my humble opinion. And certainly not off that bar. So I hope that helps. The double cross is a pet of mine, absolute pet, love it. But you've got to put it into context. Like everything, you just a candle pattern or a system or an isolated anything on a chart can get you into a whole lot of trouble. You got to look for those confluences. You got to look for those, as Orlando call it, justification. I call it confirmation. There's many ways to look at it, but don't, isolation.
That's the word that I was looking for, mate. Confirmation.
Yeah, confirmation. That's why I prompted you. I said the big C word. And the big C word is indeed confirmation. So that's what we need to put into our trading. We just don't trade in isolation. It's a very dangerous thing to do. And Ken will get you into a whole lot of heap of troubles. And how can I say that with any certainty? You know why? Because I've done it before many times. Righto, we are very near the top of the hour. I'm going to whiz through the charts on a 30-minute basis. And then I'm going to ask Orlando if there's anything that is tradable on his behest. And then, of course, we'll shoot off for the day. Euro dollar, wow. Well, there's a double cross right there. Bang, bang. That's the ideal double cross. That's what you want to see. And was it tradable? Yes. Has it gone where you wanted it to go? No. But that's the whole point. And the whole point is you're trading against the immediate momentum. And the immediate momentum here is bullish. And of course, the bulls have gone on with the job. And if that's the case, that's fine because we don't get taken into the bad trade. What we're saying, and every single trade that I take basically is based on cause and effect, not on prediction. I'm not predicting anything. But what I am saying is if this doesn't happen, then this will. That's the whole point. And this candle here gives me an insurance policy. It's very similar to confirmation, but I call it insurance. Because if I'm wrong, then price should go in the opposite direction without harming me. If I'm right, well, I'm not even right. I'm just saying these dudes are wrong. And if they're wrong, then it's going to come my way. So that's the whole principle of how I trade, pretty much. So nothing on euro dollar at the moment, but pursuant to what I've just, why is my trade line not forming? There you go. To what I've just described, then an entry.
Well, hello everybody. Apparently Jeff had some connectivity issues, so I'll just grab the um yeah, I'll just grab the Jeff, are you back? I'll just grab the
Yeah, I
charts.
just disappeared, did I?
Yeah. So I just grabbed the charts here, mate, but go ahead and continue your thing.
Right, right. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I must have sworn or something. YouTube barred me again. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I don't know how far you got into that, but I was looking here for an alternate entry short, and up here, consolidate, back underneath, retest, short here. TP1 here, target here. So that's what I'll be looking to do. And this is a, I call it a shot over the bow. It's a little indicator to me that perhaps this can work. And again, if these guys don't get through the resistance, then they're going to have a crack at the support, which is either there or there probably. So we could find a trade there a little bit later on euro US dollar short. What else was I looking at? EuroCAD's been invalidated. Yes, we've got to close above DR1 so we can cancel the M30. That's no drama. Similar scenario to what I've just described. We could now look a little bit later for that to happen again. When I say that, I mean that potential false break, which now is not a false break. Well, certainly not yet. Again, up to the monthly pivot, back underneath, retest. We can look to trade it short, but I'm talking a long way from now, so don't hold your breath on that one. I don't think there's anything else that I'm really super keen on. The pound trade, has that been triggered? Negative. Still waiting on that to break out. And everything else, I think, is Aussie yen. I was going to have a look at Aussie yen, wasn't I? Not that I told you that. It's just in my head. There's another double cross right there, which would now be looking at being entered. I don't like that. That doesn't suit. Oh, well, okay, yes, I do really. Why didn't we trade that? Oh, because of weekly pivot, banging straight into weekly pivot. There's a classic that we do like to trade. A little bounce off the bottom of the range, higher low, away you go, but weekly pivot, no. And then, of course, you had the double cross. So this could well go back to here, at which stage you'd be taking some profit. Could go anywhere, to be fair. But I like the fact that this is broken down to the low side, this big ascending triangle. We haven't really had a retest of the base of that yet. So maybe that's on the cards, and then we can look to trade it short again, but not just yet. Not ready to trade it short yet. Everything else, I think I've told you. Dollar Swissy. I placed an order dollar Swissy this morning. Where's that? There. Once again, the US dollar is just all over the place, isn't it? It's really, really tough to get into something meaningful. The order that I placed, if you want to follow it, is long at 91.62, and it's a daily chart that I'm trading, by the way. Long at 91.62, stop loss is 102 pips. I'm going to take TP1 and knock a third off at 36 pips, which is just on this high here and below the monthly pivot. TP2 will be at 188 pips. Again, I'll close a third. Then I'll leave the rest open. Now, I don't really think that the dollar can go beyond 95 on the dollar index, but the strangest things have happened. Now, if we do get back into this range that we've been in since 2014, you talk about 3-year ranges. This is a 6-year range that we've been in, and we should really have been knocking this off all over the place. We've had a few victories on this since I started trading it, but I've been absent for a while on this one because I didn't trust the US dollar. But if we get back into this range, I've got every reason to suspect, and this is what I'll be looking for, of course, that we'll get a retest here, then go that way. But my problem is, again, I don't see the dollar index going beyond 95, and I don't know that that's going to make enough room or enough time to get what is nearly 1,000 pips at the end of the day. So it just doesn't work from a mathematical perspective, but from a what do you call those things? Logical, technical point of view. That's the word I'm looking for. This will be very much the case. The other way to look at it, of course, is if we do get a retest of the bottom of that range, and I'm looking at a monthly chart now, so this can happen maybe towards the end of next month. I don't think it's going to happen before the end of, what is it, Tuesday? Today, next week, I think it's the 1st, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't think it's going to happen, but if it were to happen, then you've got to consider trading this short, I would have thought. And that probably would coincide with the dollar going to 95, and then we can look to trade it short, which of course is my want, as it is, I think, everybody who's got any interest in the US dollar. Nobody's a long-term buyer of the dollar that I'm aware of, and I'm certainly in that camp. So eventually I'll be looking to trade this short, but gee whiz, that's telling you something, isn't it? That's a pretty strong breakout of that range, which is now 6 years
I hadn't
old.
seen that.
It's pretty decisive. So yeah, maybe that second scenario is the one I'll be looking for. The retest here, then go short. Interesting. Hadn't really looked at that from this point of view, but short term, I'm bullish back to here at least, and then we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave it there. Big O, you got anything to add before we sayonara?
No, I'm actually, I just share everything that I'm into, and I'm just going to be waiting for those trades to develop.
Absolutely. Shukla, you're absolutely right. Somebody ring me, pricks.
All right.
Euro pound is messy again. Yes, it is. Gee, it's hard to catch, isn't it? Euro pound. Are we still in it? I think we're still in it. Only just. We have taken profit, of course. So if we do get our stops hit, it will be a very, very minimal loss. But I don't want to lose. I want to win on the bloody thing. While that bar's still intact, I think we've still got a chance. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Should I sack it if we get our stops hit? That's the question. That'll be 2 TP1s that have been knocked over afterwards. And you can see why. We just need to start range trading it, don't we, guys? Isn't that what we need to do? Looks like it. All right, we're going to go. Mate, I'll pop into your show, which starts at when?
My show starts at, I believe it's 7:55.
7:45?
7:45, exactly, 7:45 Singapore time.
So you'll be joined by Chloe at 7:45 on YouTube and Facebook. Is that right?
Exactly. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
And Twitter. Don't forget tweets. Donald's favorite playground.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'll pop into there just after the top of the hour just to preview our preview of the US session,
All
if you
right.
like, and I will catch you then. Everybody else, feel free to join Orlando and Chloe at that time. And you got a new show starting, mate. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. This is a new show starting. We are actually going live every day. I mean, from Monday to Thursday at 7:45 p.m. So everybody's welcome to join us. It's a half an hour show before the US show and before the US Open. So yeah, everybody, you should be joining us. And mate, I'll see you at 8 p.m.
Yeah, tick after 8 p.m. I'll catch you then.
All right, cool, mate. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, more than welcome, mate. I'll catch you then. I'll catch everyone else tomorrow in this show or in Orlando show or in the US session. Or if you're a member of my strategy team, then I'll see you at 7:45. Is that right? No,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Just as
sounds
you
great.
guys are starting. Oh
All
my
right.
goodness. Do we ever sleep? When are we ever going to sleep? I don't know.
I don't
Have a good
know.
one,
I just woke
guys.
up.
And thanks for your company, mate. We'll catch up with you later. Bye bye.
Okay,
For
bye,
now.
mate.